This Insta is after attracting some new people to the garage, which we never would have seen before, because they wanted a car that was kind of in around that price point. Some people want a range of about maybe 300 kilometres. A lot of people that are maybe commuting from Kildare up to Dublin, those kind of areas. However, one or two people have looked at it, they love it, but it's just not quite big enough. While they love the price point of kind of in around the early to mid 20s on the Insta, and they're happy with range, it's just not going to work for them size wise. A lot of the time, shorter range Kona, which is the 48 kilowatt hour, can tend to get forgotten about because people just obsess towards what's the largest range. The thing about this is, so we've had a customer in the last week upgrade into a Kona from, we'll say potentially an Insta, and they just made the decision at the end. They said, no, I just need a bigger boot. So they've gone with Kona, but the shorter range Kona, for the reason being that car was, they're happy with that range, but they need that size, which means they're happy with that range, which is the same as this range. Basically, that car was doing the bones of give or take 300 kilometers, quoted 360, maybe 300 kilometers realistically. This car quoted 380, realistically I think about 300 kilometers, so similar ranges, but she's gotten a bigger car. At the price point between them, on the spec that she was going for, she's moving from a 24.5 grand car to this car, which is registered at 31,950. One thing I haven't seen discussed too often, if you look at, say, the shorter range cars with smaller batteries, and I'm going to do a video on this because I think it is actually, I think I'm right, the consumption is much better. So the amount of electricity that gets used by the shorter range car is much better. And you might think that strikes me as obvious, and it should have struck me as, it just never has. But I've been driving some short range cars recently, and the range is actually, the range is the range, but their consumption rates are, their consumption rates are way lower. Because they're not carrying them as much weight as the bigger battery cars. So technically, if the smaller range does you, over time you will be more efficient than you would have been in a larger battery car because you're carrying less weight. I just never really thought about it before. If that range works, but that size is necessary. This car is usually 35,000 euros. We have registered this one, so it's got a 3,000 euro deduction on it. It has no mileage. So I think it's going to be good value for somebody that can work with the range but wants more space. Basically what I'm saying to you is the 48 kilowatt hour Kona is worth considering. If you've watched this far, I appreciate it. If you're still one of these EV bashers online, leave a nasty comment below. Thanks for watching.